Being nice and always available is often mistaken for charm. It's time to face the harsh truth. If you're always going out of your way to please her, you're not winning her love. You're just making her laugh at your cost. Women don't wait for a knight in shining armor. They can tell when you're desperate and weak before you can ask, "Why is she ignoring me?" But Stoicism can change everything. It's about controlling your reactions, keeping your self-respect, and never settling for being ignored. Instead of chasing them, let them chase you. By embodying the Stoic principles of strength and self-control, you'll command respect and change how people see you. If you're ready to stop being a doormat and start being a man who demands respect, then this is your wake-up call. Watch this movie to change how you talk to her and learn how to become someone she doesn't want to lose. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and help us change how you see your worth. First, both you and she can be replaced. To ground ourselves in the Stoic view of reality, everyone is replaceable. If the thought of being replaceable bothers you, it might be because you haven't fully grasped how temporary and interchangeable relationships are. In love, no one is so important that they can't be replaced. Believing that someone else can make you happy is a form of self-deception that goes against the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. While you may be stuck on the idea that she is the only person worth your time, keep in mind that she probably knows that other people could take your place if you left. Realizing this shouldn't make you weaker. Instead, it should make you stronger. Stoicism teaches us not to depend on other people for our mental stability. If you're always there for her, she can give you whatever attention she wants, while she calmly thinks about her options. There are many other people who can treat you with the respect and appreciation you deserve. If you keep putting up with being treated as an afterthought, always available and content, you're not practicing the Stoic virtue of self-respect. Know that just as you can be replaced, so can she. This isn't about putting others down. It's about recognizing your own worth and refusing to be someone's backup plan. When you follow the Stoic principle of self-value and refuse to be treated as less, you change the balance of power. As long as you're looking for attention, you're letting yourself be trampled. This is a clear consequence of your actions that Stoicism tells us to think about. When you realize that you're not tied to anyone and that she is just one of many options, you free yourself. What happens when she sees that you've stopped playing the waiting game? She may pursue you, not because you've manipulated the situation, but because she realizes how valuable you are. Your absence makes her rethink her previous lack of interest in you. Suddenly, you're not an option, you're a challenge. Something beyond her easy grasp, so the next time you want to put yourself down to get attention, remember this lesson. There are better people than you two. There are many people in the world who will see how valuable you are and treat you with respect. But you won't meet them until you stop wasting time with someone who only sees you as an option. Stand tall, move your crown figuratively, and take a step forward. Embrace the many chances that life gives you. Knowing your own worth is the key to not only finding a better partner, but also changing the way your relationships work in general. Stay strong and don't settle for less than you earn. You are in charge of your life, and this game, not she is. Move on and show the world how valuable you really are. Stoicism teaches us how to be self-controlled and how important it is to value ourselves. These are great lessons for how we should act in situations where one person is desperately trying to hold on to a hopeless situation. Needing attention can easily lower a person's status, so why lower yourself by constantly seeking validation? Texting non-stop and obsessing over small details of someone else's life are examples of mod slavery, where a person becomes a slave to the affection of another, which is something Stoics would argue against, stressing the importance of freedom from external validation. When you act in this way, You're not only predictable and replaceable, you're also going against the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of building an inner citadel, which means making your mind strong so you're not easily swayed by outside events, like someone not paying attention. For example, if you think she hasn't seen your message because she's busy, you're probably lying to yourself. More likely, she's aware but doesn't care because she knows you're always available. Epicus would say that insisting on her attention is giving up your freedom, but Garner doesn't value you. Instead, she sees you as nothing more than a convenience. Every message you send out of despair shows that you don't value yourself. Stoicism doesn't say that you should become a background character in someone else's story. Instead, it says that you should live your own life with honor and respect. So, if you follow the Stoic principle of not caring about things that are out of your control, like someone else's attention or approval, when she pulls away, use that as a chance to practice apatha, or freedom from passions. Back up, putting your attention back on your own growth and doing things that help you find your life's purpose. This fits with Seneca's teachings that the only way to find real happiness is to work on yourself and stop trying to please other people. By adopting a Stoic attitude, you take back control of your feelings and actions. She will notice this change. The less you react to her lack of interest, the more she realizes that you are not at her beck and call. This newfound mystery and independence often reignite interest as you become a figure of strength and self-confidence that others find deeply attractive. So the next time you feel like you need to get her attention, remember what Marcus Aurelius said: "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Work on improving your mind and spirit. Spend time with friends, do your hobbies, and work out your body. Let the fact that your attention is limited teach you how valuable you are. This approach isn't about manipulating them. It's about respecting yourself and living a life that the Stoics would admire, one that's full of independence and wealth, with or without her. Ultimately, it's about making sure that if anyone should be chasing after your peace and strength, it should be her. This is in line with the Stoic vision of living a principled life. Number 3. Don't give in to manipulation. Your greatest weapon is being immune to their tricks. Some women are very aware of how much power they have over men's emotions, and they take advantage of it cruelly. For them, you are the pawn in a cruel game, and she is the mastermind. They'll test your limits, provoke you, and wait to see how much you'll put up with to keep their favor. The more visibly distressed and desperate you become, the more they relish the game. However, the escape from this deceitful game is simpler than you might think. Remain unaffected. Yes, the secret to breaking free from this snare is to demonstrate that she holds no power over you now or ever, and this isn't accomplished with mere words or hollow promises. It's through your actions. She distances herself. Self-accepted graciously ignores you. Even better, sends a cutting message to unsettle you. That's when your response should be calm yet detached, polite but with the chill of someone utterly indifferent to her antics. Act with kindness, but maintain a distance, as if her attempts to unsettle you had gone unnoticed. The trick is to behave as though her actions are completely irrelevant to you. And truth if she's toying with your feelings, then that's precisely what her actions are: irrelevant. Here's the twist. When you exhibit this level of emotional fortitude, unaffected by any storm, you deal a significant blow to her ego. What did she expect? To see you desperate for her attention? Instead, she encounters a man who simply carries on unfazed, as if nothing had occurred. This kind of dispassion is a stark wake-up call for her, because it disrupts the cycle of emotional domination. She thought she held over you, but heed this caution. Don't mistake this for pretense or merely playing hard. To get the aim is not to act superior, but to genuinely possess self-assurance and security in knowing that her actions do not affect your peace. You aren't responding to provoke you act this way, because you truly recognize your own value and understand that her approval does not define you. Once she realizes her tactics are fuel, the entire narrative shifts. She begins to doubt her actions, her control over you, and whether she has underestimated the type of man you are. If you can maintain this steadfastness, not only will her perception of you transform, but her respect for you will also increase substantially, because honesty. Only what does she truly seek? Deep down, a man she can control at will, or someone who stands their ground and doesn't play silly emotional games? The answer is clear. Respect and attraction are intertwined, and when you present yourself as unmovable, she's compelled to view you in a new light. So the next time she attempts to play games, remember you are in command. It's not about victory or defeat, but about refusing to engage. You are the master of your emotional journey, and when she realizes she cannot sway you, that's when the dynamics shift. She'll find herself pursuing you, trying to figure out what changed, and importantly, how she might regain your attention. Ultimately, you are the victor for staying true to your principles, for preserving your dignity. And that, my friend, is the hallmark of a true Stoic number 4. It's you who's ignoring. For far too long, you've played the role of the ever-present, ever-willing participant, consistently offering your attention and energy, even when met with nothing but cold indifference or profound silence from her. This habitual availability, while noble, has not served you well. But what's changing now is not merely your tactics, but your entire mindset. This isn't about retaliation, it's about embracing the Stoic principle of self-respect by setting definitive boundaries and demonstrating that you're not someone who passively accepts whatever treatment is. In Stoicism, the focus is often on the importance of mutual respect and the two-way flow that should naturally happen in any healthy relationship. If she sees you as an option instead of a priority, the Stoic response is to think things through and take action. This isn't about getting back at her or being angry. It's about protecting your own dignity and self-worth. Stoic wisdom teaches us the virtue of knowing when to leave relationships and situations that don't honor our inherent worth. When you decide to no longer put up with disrespect, you're not just setting boundaries, you're reclaiming your power. You go from being a passive victim of her whims to an assertive person who commands respect. Ignoring someone who keeps ignoring your worth is not a sign of carelessness. It's a strong sign that you see and respect your worth. If she wants your attention and care, she has to show that she deserves it. Stoics believed that life is a two-way street. If she's not willing to give you even the smallest amount of respect, then why should you keep putting in the time, effort, and emotional energy? By taking this stance, you not only protect your own self-esteem, but you also show that you are not someone who can be ignored or treated as an option. This clear and unwavering message lets her know that you know what you're worth. And if she doesn't see it, that's her loss, not yours. Also remind us that self-worth comes from within and that we should not depend on others to define it for us by ignoring her when she ignores you. You're not engaging in petty games or manipulative tactics. You are practicing a form of emotional self-defense that is both justified and necessary. If she cannot treat you with the basic decency and respect you deserve, then she does not merit your attention. When she realizes that you no longer dance to the tune she plays, she may begin to reconsider her approach. Often people only value what they fear losing when confronted with the reality that they might lose someone who understands their worth. They may start to alter their behavior. So, my friend, do not hesitate to mirror her disinterest if that's the energy she brings. This is not about lowering yourself to her level, but about elevating your standards to the height where they should have always been. If she can't rise to meet them, then she has no place in your life. Be firm, be unshakable, and above all, don't be afraid to show that you're the master of your destiny. You notice. And when that happens, you'll already be far ahead, living your life enriched by self-respect and not looking back. After all, those who truly value themselves never remain at the mercy of someone else's whims or neglect. Number 5. Never tolerate being ignored. Let's be frank, which is precisely what Stoic wisdom would urge you to be. Stop putting up with rudeness. It's important to understand this lesson. When you let her treat you like an afterthought, ignore your presence, or downplay your worth, you're not honoring your own value. And when you don't stand up for yourself, you're willingly becoming an option that is always overlooked. If you keep settling for little attention, pleading for any sign of affection, and making yourself her backup plan, you're not just underselling yourself, you're effectively claiming that you are not important. It's painfully honest, but no woman will respect a man who doesn't respect himself. If you don't assert your worth, set clear limits, and show that you deserve respect, you set yourself up to be ignored. Stark's truth is that she doesn't respect you because you haven't shown that you respect yourself. She ignores you because you let her. She doesn't care about your feelings because she knows you'll always be there, willing to take whatever little she gives you until you change this dynamic. If you want to earn her respect, don't expect anything different. Take this not-so-secret piece of advice to heart. Value yourself first. Don't settle for second best or less because you think it's better than nothing. That attitude alone will beat real Stoic men. If she can't give you full respect, consideration, and mutual respect, the only smart thing to do is to walk away. It's not your job to change her mind or convince her of your worth. She has to see it for herself, and if she doesn't, she's the one who's losing out. A man who knows what he wants, respects himself, and won't put up with mistreatment will attract someone who truly values him. It's important to remember that life is too short to waste time fighting for someone's respect. Show the world and her that you are not just another person. Accepting bad treatment or begging for food will only lower your hopes. The only person who can help you get out of despair is you. It's time to leave the shadows of potential and enter the light of what you deserve. You are in charge of your own life and writing your story. It doesn't need or should include anyone who doesn't see your value. If she can't see your worth, that's her loss, not yours. Move forward with confidence, because the only person who deserves respect is yourself. Never let anyone lower your worth or make you question what you deserve. If they can't see it, that's their problem. You're here to be respected, not ignored, and if that means cutting ties with people who don't see your worth, so be it. At the end of the day, you're the one who needs to look in the mirror and feel proud, so take charge, set limits, and make your life truly worth living. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You decide the rules of your life. You deserve better, and it's time the world recognized it. If this speaks to you, please show your support by liking this video and leaving a comment below with the words, "I deserve better." Your participation helps us share these timeless Stoic principles with others who may benefit from them. Now let's move on to number 6, leaving it behind in the Stoic tradition. Equidice and self-respect are not only good ideas, they are necessary for living a good life. This is especially true in relationships where you may feel ignored or undervalued. In these situations, many men give up, letting their emotions cloud their judgment. But if you practice Stoicism, you have the chance to show a different path, one of dignity and self-assurance. When a woman starts to ignore or distance herself from you, it's a critical test. Common reactions include confusion and anger. Stubbornly looking for answers or trying to save the link at all costs often results in losing one's honor and power. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us to keep our cool and stay true to ourselves, no matter what happens around us. Think about the typical situation. A woman who is always the center of attention and has a lot of fans meets a man who doesn't respond the way you'd expect him to when you tell him you don't care about her. This man is an outlier who doesn't follow the normal rules of emotional engagement. The Stoic response in this situation is not only helpful, but also life-changing. By choosing to move on, you show that your self-worth is inherent and cannot be negotiated. This action alone makes you stand out, showing a rare strength that goes against the norm. Your decision to move on is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which values choosing autonomy and inner peace over external validation. By doing this, you show that you are not swayed by whims or manipulations, but instead you are guided by a clear understanding of your value and virtues. This isn't about emotionally pulling away, it's about refocusing on things you can control, like your goals, hobbies, and growth. This stance has a deep effect because it lets people know that you are not someone else's toy or emotional experiment. You are a complex person who is guided by values that value mutual respect and emotional growth. When you move on, you're not only avoiding pain that isn't necessary, you're also sending a strong message that you value yourself too highly to play emotion games with someone else. Moving on isn't about ignoring or not caring about other people. It's about realizing how important your mental peace and time are. It's a statement that the direction of your life is up to you, not other people's feelings. In a world where emotional reactions are common, choosing Stoicism is a choice for those who want to live a calm life. Detachment is revolutionary, but when you really detach and move on, the dynamics often change. The realization that she no longer controls you may make her think twice about what she did, but by then you are in charge. You decide if she deserves a place in your life based on Stoic criteria of mutual respect and value, not out of desperation or manipulation. So move forward not out of spite, but with Stoic strength, leaving behind those who don't value you and making room for those who do. If you follow this philosophy, you don't just get through emotional trials, you thrive. That way lies a future that sees and values your worth. That's the steady way, always moving forward. Never again. Number 7. Led by knowledge and self-respect, rewire your mind for success. Let's take a moment to talk about how our minds work. When you look at your phone, hoping someone will answer when they're not looking at you, you're basically getting hooked on dopamine. Loop a lot like a gambler who awaits the next big win. According to Stoic wisdom, we should focus on what we can control and not count too much on approval from others. It's time to readjust our dopamine levels and get our mental peace back. Here is a 7-day plan to help you clean up and start over. On days 1 and 2, stay away from social media. The frequent alerts and social comparisons can make it a lot worse. Stress and worry. Taking this break will help your mind relax and stop making pointless comparisons. Days 3 and 4, only use your phone when you have to, make calls, send important texts, but don't browse or check your notifications for no reason. This change is very important for getting rid of the need for outside approval. On days 5 and 6, don't watch TV. Instead of using streaming services, do things that help you be more aware, like reading, meditating, or spending time outside. During day 7, completely disconnect from all digital devices and spend the day reconnecting with yourself and your surroundings while thinking about your thoughts and feelings. During this detox period, do things that naturally raise your dopamine levels in a healthy way, like working out, learning new skills, or having heartfelt conversations with friends who really care about you. By the end of this detox, your need for external validation will have greatly decreased, and you'll have retrained your brain to derive pleasure from more lasting sources. For example, imagine you've been trying to catch the attention of someone special, but they keep ignoring your texts. Instead of checking your messages all the time and getting down, you decide to take on this 7-day detox challenge. To start, you do a social media cleanse. Cut down on how much you use your phone and watch less TV. Instead, start a new hobby like learning the guitar. You talk to old friends again about deep and important things. By the end of this week, you'll feel happier and less focused on their attention. You'll have picked up a new skill, made new friends, and found joy in activities that really make your life better. As you go through this journey, you live out the Stoic ideal of focusing on what you can control and finding happiness within. This strategy doesn't just help you reset, it strengthens the Stoic virtues of self-discipline and inner peace. Remember that the best way to deal with feeling ignored is to build a strong sense of self-worth and find happiness within, not from the fleeting attention of others. Number 8. Be thankful for what you have. It's easy to focus on what you think you're losing, especially if the person you're interested in isn't responding. Stoicism can help you deal with this. Focus on what you can change and find peace in the present. For example, if you've been texting someone and haven't heard back in days, you might be wondering what went wrong or why they don't like you. Instead of getting stuck in these thoughts, try to stay in the present. Loops. Let's change our focus. First, be grateful for what you do have. Think about your strengths, your talents, and the people who matter to you. Are you a good friend? Are you dedicated at work? Are you always trying to do the right thing? These are the things that define you and make you valuable. One useful thing you can do is write down 3 things you're thankful for every day in an attitude journal. These things can be as simple as a sunny day, a good chat with a friend, or something new you learned. I'm thankful for my friends' support, my job, and the chances to learn and grow, and the nice weather today. When you practice gratitude every day, you shift your attention from what's missing to what's present. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings, it means recognizing them and choosing to focus on what makes you happy. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be in charge of how we react to the things that happen in our lives. If you're feeling ignored, don't look to other people for approval. Instead, look within yourself and see how valuable you are and how much you have. Being ignored by one person doesn't define your worth. By being grateful for what you have and appreciating it, you build resilience and find inner peace. This strength radiates from you and naturally attracts good relationships and opportunities. Let's focus on gratitude and enjoy the happiness it brings into our lives, aligning ourselves with Stoic principles and improving our overall outlook. As this look at Stoic knowledge and how to use it comes to an end, ICAL uses in our personal lives. Without a doubt, the way to self-respect and sincere admiration is not to change other people, but to change ourselves. Stoicism isn't just a set of ideas, it also gives us useful advice that can help us live dignified, self-controlled, and peaceful lives. By shifting our attention from looking for approval from others to improving our own sense of worth, we can have more satisfying relationships and a strong sense of personal fulfillment. When we follow these rules, we understand that our worth doesn't go down just because someone doesn't see it. It's about keeping our balance and not letting other people's lack of interest or manipulation affect us. When we consistently use these Stoic insights, we not only protect our emotional health, but also attract people who truly value and connect with our authentic selves. If this video has given you a new perspective or made you think about how you interact with others, please hit the like button and leave a comment sharing your thoughts or experiences. Tell us about any Stoic practices that really changed your life in the comments section below. Also, watch the videos on the screen right now for more information on how Stoicism can improve different parts of your life. These resources are meant to help you live a life of principled respect and personal growth. Thanks for watching, and remember that every step you take to improve yourself is a step toward a more fulfilling life. If you want to read more about the depth of Stoic wisdom and how it applies to today's world, subscribe. This is where your road to a more stoic, respectful, and self-assured life continues.